No one noticed the house going silent at first. On a quiet street in Bay Cliffy, Texas, the lights stayed off longer than usual. Phones went unanswered. Texts piled up without replies. By the time anyone realized something was wrong, the damage had already been done and carefully hidden. 2 days after anyone last heard from them, a friend stood outside the barricaded home, pounding on doors and windows, growing more frantic by the minute. Inside were supposed to be 2 people, 61-year-old Tammy King and her 17-year-old granddaughter, Tara. Neither responded. The house felt sealed off, intentionally closed to the world.
They're answering the phone, they're not answering the door, I'm fixing to break the door in, I beat on the windows, I beat on everything, I've got her son on the other line, and he told me to keep the door in, but that's a big old door, I don't think I'm going to get through it.
Okay, and so what are you needing? Like, are you running a welfare check on him?
Well, I mean, I'm fixing to break in over here is what I'm fixing to do. Because there's 2 women in there, and neither one of them's answering. They haven't answered in a day and a half.
When sheriff's deputies arrived that night, they found every door locked and every window obstructed. With no clear legal authority to force entry, they hesitated. But the man waiting with them, Tammy's longtime friend Terry Utton, couldn't. He broke a window on the back door and immediately understood something was very wrong. A tumble dryer had been shoved directly against the doorway. A mattress and other household items were stacked on top, forming a makeshift barricade from the inside. The home wasn't just locked, it had been deliberately blocked, as if someone wanted to delay discovery for as long as possible. With permission from Tammy's son, Terry climbed through a bathroom window. Less than a minute later, he emerged from the front door, visibly shaken. Tammy King was dead. She lay on her bed, face up, partially covered by disordered sheets and blankets. A single gunshot wound to the head had killed her. Investigators estimated she'd been dead for at least a day. Terry never looked into Tara's bedroom. He later admitted he was afraid of what he might find. Tara wasn't there. Neither was her boyfriend. The house told a story before anyone else did. There were no signs of forced entry beyond the damage caused during the welfare check. The living room was chaotic. Money scattered, firearms left out, safes standing open and empty. A bag of dog food sat open on the floor with bowls of water nearby, but the dog was gone. Tammy's late husband had once run a gun shop, and the house had been full of weapons. Now several were missing, including the gun used to kill her. In the kitchen, dirty dishes and old food sat untouched. A white purse with a single drop of blood lay out of place, suggesting it had been moved after the shot was fired. In the back of the house, the barricades continued. Windows were blocked, doors obstructed. Whoever had done this had taken their time, not just to steal, but to conceal. Tara's bedroom was worse. Trash and rotting takeout littered the room. Prescription pill bottles bearing Tammy's name were scattered openly. Water bottles filled with urine sat on a desk above a makeshift sleeping area. It was clear someone had been living there in secret, hiding in plain sight. 2 live .22 caliber rounds were found in Tammy's bedroom. Under the bed, investigators recovered a spent .5.56 casing. The weapon itself was gone. At first, investigators feared the worst for Tara. No one had seen or heard from her since the night Tammy was last alive. Then a tip came in. A young man named Rigo told police he had picked up Tara and her boyfriend Uriah Urick from the house the afternoon after Tammy was believed to have been killed. They said nothing about a death, nothing about a burglary. They simply asked for a ride. A neighbour's security camera filled in the rest. Footage showed two figures in Tammy's backyard carrying trash bags back and forth. A black sedan backed into the driveway. Rigo's car. Tara and Uriah loaded items into the trunk before leaving with their dog. They weren't running in panic. They were executing a plan. Rigo dropped them near a local business, where another acquaintance, Christian, agreed to help. Tara and Uriah claimed they were fleeing an abusive household. They asked for a place to stay and offered payment in cash, or guns. They stayed 2 nights. Christian later told police the couple seemed paranoid, constantly worried that police were nearby. He drove them to Walmart, where they bought multiple boxes of hair dye. When he returned home from work on February 7th, they were gone. Their dog had been left behind. So had guns, ammunition, stolen prescription pills, and a torn bottle label still bearing Tammy's name. 3 days later, Tara King and Uriah Urick were arrested at a Dollar General in Laredo, Texas, more than 5 hours south near the Mexican border. By then, they had changed their appearance, ditched possessions, and accepted a ride from a drug dealer named Travis Hodge. Travis later told investigators that during the drive, Uriah began to reveal details that didn't make sense. Details about a body, about a gun, about something that couldn't be undone. Realizing he was transporting murder suspects, Travis dropped them at a motel and kept 2 of their firearms instead. One of those guns matched the weapon used to kill Tammy King. The truth didn't emerge all at once. It came in fragments. Messages, transactions, and digital footprints left behind by 2 teenagers who believed they were being careful. Instagram messages showed weeks of planning. They talked openly about killing Tammy, about stealing guns, money, pills, and antique coins, about how to do it, when to do it. Tara wrote about wanting her grandmother gone. Uriah advised against using a knife. It would be easier together, he said, cleaner. He suggested disabling Tammy first, then handing Tara the weapon. 10 days before the murder, Tara admitted she wanted to stab her grandmother. Uriah told her to wait. On the final day, he sent a message. "We ride at dawn." After Tammy was killed, Tara transferred money from her grandmother's accounts into her own. Large amounts failed at first, then smaller ones went through. Eventually, Tammy's bank account was linked directly to Tara's app. Before her death, Tammy had routinely sent her granddaughter small sums. Money for food, phone cases, everyday needs. She hadn't refused Tara. She had tried to guide her. That guidance had become the problem. Tammy enforced rules, curfews, school attendance, boundaries. She didn't allow Uriah to stay overnight. To the teenagers, those rules stood between them and the life they wanted. Uriah Urick stood trial for capital murder in November 2025. Prosecutors laid out the messages, the money transfers, the stolen guns, and the calculated effort to hide the crime. The jury deliberated just over 3 hours. They returned a guilty verdict. Uriah was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Tara King has pleaded not guilty and is scheduled to stand trial in January 2026. What remained behind was a house full of silence, a barricaded bedroom, and a woman who believed she was protecting her family, never realizing the danger had been growing inside her own home.
Oh? No, it's not. You tell everybody hi? Hi. So we're at the beach.
Are you doing a Facebook Live?
Yes.
Cool.
Well, no, I'm just doing a video of you.